questions.
Yeah.
How many data centers do you have?
So we have two right now, and third one in Canada that we're working with. One is in Austin, and the other one is in Kansas City. So two geographically different areas, and Tier 4 data centers, which Tier 4 means that the data center itself has gone through very little downtime. That's how they assign the tiers. So if you come across a Tier 1, Tier 2 data center, then you know that they've gone through a lot of downtime. They don't meet some physical security standards, things like that. So it's very important. So we have written a cloud frequently asked questions, and we just kind of send it out to our clients. It's all about education. When somebody wants to go to the cloud, you have to educate them and give them as much as you can so they can make a good decision.
So good analogy that I heard the other day, because what we do is all cloud. And so if we're talking to someone who's in-house and their question is how is it secure or whatever, and someone came with an analogy, it's like, well, it's more secure than that single pane of glass between the outside and that server.
Yeah.
Because in most cases, some businesses, someone just walks in, grabs a computer, I don't know what they're going to do with it.
Yep.
But they take it, and then all your data just went out the door.
Yeah, that's that physical security. By far, we have a picture of data center we have in our proposals, all kinds of armed guards, and you should really visit. If you go to Vegas, you should try and visit the data center out there. I forgot the name, but if it comes, I'll get to you. But it's just mind blowing. You freak out when you even enter with all these armed guards with fancy machine guns walking at you and following you. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
To see that kind of security.
That's an important point. I used to literally have nightmares here about what happens if our building burns down, what if somebody breaks in and just hauls off our server, to sell it for $50 at the pawn shop, or whatever. Just that really used to scare me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The day of people taking backup tapes home, it's gone.
Yeah, those days are long
No,
gone.
clients still think they still are doing that, but they've never tested the data backup.
Yeah.
So they have someone using the same tapes they've used for 10 years, religiously taking them out to the trunk. They sit in the sun in the trunk for the last 10 years. So that's the funny thing about it, is you're talking to people, and it's large companies too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good-sized manufacturers have these ERP systems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're nuts if they're not talking to Bjorn or somebody,
Yeah.
because it solves a lot of issues.
What's your client count right now?
Approaching 100.
100?
Yeah.
Well, to the service aspect, we've had zero downtime in over a 15-month period, but I'm forever impressed with when problems do arise, our employees call, and within 5 minutes they get a return phone call. Or if you say, hey, I want to talk to you at 9 o'clock the next day, that phone's ringing at 9 o'clock the next day. It's just phenomenal, the backup support too. So
Thanks, Greg.
I tip my hat to you.
Thank you, Greg. It's all about service, and that's why we are probably very few providers that are going month to month with our clients. I've told my staff we have to earn our clients' business every month, every single month. There should be no lock-ins. In fact, it defeats the purpose of cloud. Mm-hmm. Cloud is so dynamic, ever-changing, that you should not be locked in a contract. You should be free to go to whoever has the best technology. That's bottom line. You should not be using the same technology for 3 years because you're already behind. That's exactly it. With the innovation that's going on that I just talked about, the security enhancements, the backup. I didn't even touch backups, and how we're doing backups, and how clients can just right-click on a folder and restore a file themselves. So the days of telling the IT guy, hey, pop that tape in, that fourth tape, from the 10, and oh no, that's not the right one, put the fifth one in, and it takes 4 or 5 hours to get that one file, gone. It's right-click, restore previous version, and there's your file.
Mm-hmm. So Bjorn, if in going on a month-to-month, if a client moved to another cloud service provider, or they were trying to move to your cloud service provider, how difficult is that for a client? You have all this data on the cloud on your servers, and now they want to switch to you. What does that look like for the client?
So it's a very, very good question. Most of the times we have had clients come from other cloud providers, And cloud providers are pretty, understanding and professional about it, So email migration is a breeze, let me tell you. If you have email in an Exchange server at one provider, and I want to move the email over here, it's like I have technology, I can do it seamlessly, I can sync the mailboxes, all your contacts, your calendars. So that's a breeze. That's really been mastered. And it happens seamlessly. So while you're working with this cloud provider, everything's synchronized here. And when then you're ready to stop working here, you connect here and all your data is all there. So we break it down by email migration, by application migration. So let's say you have an ERP system. Well, we'll work with the vendor to get it installed here, and then we'll take some backups on external hard drives, and then we will do incremental backups. So when Friday afternoon, let's say around 3 o'clock, we'll say no more using, changing the data here, because we're doing our work. And within one weekend, we are basically moving the client completely from one environment to another environment. So that's one of the very unique things about our firm, is that there's minimal downtime to go to the cloud. So if somebody wants to start doing business with us, we'll migrate all the data, get everything ready, train the users, test it, get the bugs out here and there, scanning, printing, whatever, and then they're live. So it's a very seamless experience. You don't want downtime when they're going to the cloud. And on another point, we are today able to migrate clients to the cloud in less than 2 weeks. If they say, I want to go to the cloud, we can do it in less than 2 weeks. We can actually do it in a week, providing that the other provider cooperates. A lot of times what we find is we are ready to go. We can spin up the servers, get everything ready, but we're waiting on the other provider to give us the data. Sometimes they don't have, they're maybe reselling someone else's cloud, so they have to go to the other data center provider, ask them questions, because they've never come across it, So those things kind of delay our process, but yeah.
And
Karen,
then,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, just one other question. In your data centers in Austin and in Kansas,
Yeah.
are those your data centers that you've built out, or you're partnering with?
We partner. So think about, we're all consultants. We specialize in something, So we specialize in, we're a cloud integrator. We specialize in taking all these technologies and putting it together, make it a nice user experience. So there are data center providers. That's all they do, is they build data centers. So there's no point for us to be in that business. We just subscribe. We take all their SLAs. Somebody provides 99.9, this vendor provides. We take all that. Ultimately, we are responsible. When somebody does business with us, and our SLA is what that matters. SLA means service level agreement. That's all matters. If I'm telling you I'm going to give you 99.9% uptime, that's all you should be concerned with. The underlying things, there's a lot of orchestration that goes. That's where we come in. We work with data center companies, we work with spam filtering companies, email encryption companies, backup disaster. There's a lot of vendors on the back end, but we make it look all very simple to the end user.
All your discussion here in your slideshow really dealt with business owners and businesses moving to the cloud. Are there developing cloud solutions for the individual homeowner that maybe wants to be able to have access to their desktop or their laptop, wherever they're be able to use access it through their phone or whatever? Is it cost prohibitive?
It depends. The home user can vary drastically, because very few home users might be willing to spend on a subscription basis. Since we don't deal with, but I can tell you that there's a lot of developments happening on the personal cloud. Let's talk about that. Microsoft is just coming out with a new solution for people, like the business version of Office 365. So business email, they're trying to develop a service for the personal user, the same type of uptime and all that. So that's pretty cool. You can get a desktop today, let's say about $100 a month. That's the ballpark. It gives you Office software, so you don't have to go buy Office. But again, Office fairly is inexpensive for home and business users. So you see, again, sometimes it doesn't make sense for the home user to get a virtual desktop because of some of these things. You know, the cost to buy home and business edition is really inexpensive, and you can put it on 3 or more computers.
Differentiate Dropbox.
Oh, that's a great question. So Dropbox, Box.com, Ignite, these are all file sharing websites. The interesting thing is Dropbox has the largest adoption when it comes to small users. We're coming out with our own offering. The problem again is Dropbox, you don't know where your data is sitting. More than likely it's on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely it's crossing the boundaries of the United States. So those are the things you don't have control over. And our clients need to make sure that their data never leaves the United States and they know where it is. So we are coming out with our own file sharing service that they can sync files from any device, things like that, and we know exactly which data center it is in. There's another product that we're coming out with called ShareFile. So you can share those large files with different clients. We already have it today, but today the vendor that we work with stores the data on Amazon, and they're coming out with a product where we can store the data back on our servers and still offer that service. Again, the point is all your data sits in one place. It's not scattered.
Hey, great presentation. Thank you.
Outstanding.